do the opals, don't you worry. But I thought, you know what? Let's destroy a printer. I'm waiting for the phone to charge at the moment. So I've got the charger in. Whilst that's going on, I'll just stay in here and I'll destroy a printer. That sounds like a good, responsible use of my time. So what I'm going to do is just, because it's a bit off the cuff, a little bit from the side, a little bit cuffing from the side, cuff side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and essentially construct a mobile phone stand for your very entertainment from scratch. I mean, there's one over there, but that's boring. Let's go and make one. So what can we do? We'll just chuck this in here if we can. Yeah, we can do that. Move that over here like so. Move that up. Maybe if I have it, do you reckon if I have it that in there? Yeah, I could probably do that. What I'll do is I'll pop this. This is just a, in case you're interested, there's opals in here basically. Let's have a look. Let's see. Yeah, this is a nice one. See, beautiful. I think I gave that one to my mum. I can't remember. Anywho, that's not as important as other things. Yeah, there we go. So what we can do is we can maybe construct a little rampy, latticey ramp lattice like that. And then we've got ourselves a, there we go. Now you can see what I'm doing. That'll be great. We might need some more altitude for this, but for the time being, it'll be fine. Things are going to get a bit messy, I reckon. That's okay. In case you're interested, this is just a backing for a TV. Like, yeah, literally a TV. These are parts that I use. I'll show you cleaning up later on. It's hilarious. Basically, what I've discovered is cleaning up with this is actually easier than using many other types of things. So let's just get into this. The reason why I started with this particular tangent was because I realized that these printers, they are hostile to people who are just trying to repair it. It doesn't matter if professional or not, they're hostile just in general. They don't want you repairing it. You get yourself into a lot of trouble really quick. This one in particular, I can't remember what brand it is a Brother. Oh, Brother. And I haven't actually dismantled one of the, well, I might have, but I haven't got any schematics or plans. We're just flying by the cuff, so to speak. And I know a little bit about them. From the looks of things, this is a bubble jet. I can see some ink. I'll show you. I can see some ink rails there. So that's the tubes, basically. So this is where your hands get dirty when you're cutting the thing open. Over here, what I'm seeing here, yeah, this is just the cover for some computer memory. What I'm going to do is I'll put this back into the holder later. The holder being this weird arrangement of stuff. Basically, I might have to use two hands for this, but what I'm doing is I'm taking off the feet, because as a general rule, they don't want you getting in, and you'll find that the access for the screws are hidden in all sorts of crazy locations. This is suspect number one, quite frankly. Let's see if I'm right. If I'm not right, I'm going to have to go hunting around and try and find it. That'll be annoying. Let's see if we can just... There's a little hot tip for you. You can use a screwdriver for more than one thing. Yeah, it's not there. Okay, so we're going to have to hunt around. I was wrong. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can spot where the screws are. Hello there, Ricardo. I am dismantling a printer whilst I'm waiting for this phone to charge. Thought I might as well do something with my time and thought you might enjoy it. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is a couple of screws. Let's see what we can find in this printer, because very often people go, well, if you're scrapping printers, people don't think they're worth very much money. I would actually disagree with you. I'll show you in a minute why. I've never done this. Well, I'm not going to say I've never done it before, but I don't remember doing something like this before. Oh, I've dismantled plenty of things, don't get me wrong, but not this particular brand of printer. Well, not even brand. This particular type. I don't remember this type. That's what I'm trying to say. It's late at night. Give me a break. Okay, here we go. So there, let's have a look at this. We'll take that off soon. Where does that go? Right, now this looks like it's hardwired in. I'll just check. Yeah, it's hardwired in. Having a look at where the circuit board is. Now that's very interesting. This is actually quite non-hostile to repair. I was hoping that it'd be a little bit more how do I put this? Destructive. But it's not. This is actually quite easy to dismantle. I'm quite surprised. Okay, so what you'll find here, this is the first genuine surprise. This must be an older model, because what I'm seeing here, I'm not sure if you can spot that, but let's just put this into the light. See those traces? They are gold. If you want me to prove it, I'll snap this board and show you. So let's go. No, it's not going to go because it's, oddly enough, the traces are gold, but the board itself is actually quite cheap. And so it just snaps like that. You're usually able to get the traces off them. Okay, these things, as a general rule, this looks like it's carbon fiber or some other such material, but very often they're silver too. So, but if I can just get this trace off, normally what you do is you actually scratch the trace off. We're just hoping to peel it off. But I think that is actually a gold trace. So straight off win from the start. I don't think the keypad will be working again, just as a little hint between you and me. But that's okay. Let's have a look over here. We'll check what this is. Now, there's actually a little thing, a little lever you flip, but ain't nobody got time for that. There we go. So let's have a look. So that ribbon cable is, looks like it's either silver or tin. There's a good chance it's tin. There's also a good chance it's silver. And it's a very thin coating of silver if it is, but there you go. So straight off the bat, having just opened up this printer, found some chunks of potentially silver and potentially chunks of gold. So that's what we're dealing with. This stuff is ferrite. I don't think it's particularly valuable. It's useful because it actually shields your components. There's your keypad. I don't think there's anything else. Oh yeah, there is. There's a screen. So let me just pull the screen apart. Now, I haven't quite gotten my head around what all the screen components are, so I'm getting it a bit. Basically, it's an LCD. It's an older one, you can tell. But I can also tell that the contacts here are actually quite good. And yes, in case you're wondering, you can most certainly get rid of that more delicately than what I've just done. But, so there's our LCD display. That looks, no, it looks colour. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's have a look here. So a lot of the time, there's a microchip that's actually implanted right along this strip here. This might be too old for that to be a thing. But yeah, very often there's actually a little strip of gold just there. But you can see that yellow color, that is most decidedly gold. So pretty good so far. Let's see if we can open this guy up. I can see that there's actually a methodology here. You can open it up. How do we do that? We could use the brute force method. That is valid. Brute force it is. That means that this is never going to work again. Right. So here we go. This is what most screens are made from. You've got a little reflective coat. That's probably silver. It could be anything though. And then we have Fresnel lenses. We have polarizing lenses. All sorts of things. See there? Let's see if that magnifies or not. I think it's just a polarizing filter. Just checking to see if it magnifies. No magnification on that side. None on that side. So that's a polarizing filter. Let's see. Here we go. Here's another polarizing filter. And we're coming to the bits where like there's icky stuff here, and I could also hurt myself because that's glass, of course. Have I just hurt myself? No, I haven't. So there we go. That's where the liquid crystal is. There's a reservoir there. There's also a lot. You can see that. There you go. And once again, here's the payoff. That bit there. That's gold. Gold, 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 gold. So there we go. Now, just so that you know, it's not a lot of gold, but it is gold. Okay, where are we going from here? By the way, once this phone is charged, we are going out to the Opals. This is just some fun whilst we're waiting for the phone to charge. Okay, so what I love about these things are this here. I'll show it to you. This is what 90% of my Opal benches are made from. It's the glass from the scanning bed of a printer. Beautiful stuff. You can do all sorts of things with it. So what I might do is just bring everything back a bit so that you can see what's about to happen, because it's going to get a little bit messy. There we go. So let's see, how do we get into this? I think I saw something on the other side, and we might even be lucky. We might be able to just pop this off. If we can't pop it off, we can use the brute force method. As my brother always tells me, if brute force doesn't work, you're not using enough of it. So let's have a look. Okay, so there's just a little thing here that you push, and hopefully it'll just pop out. Or alternately, the pair of pliers you just go yoink. Right, that's that done. So, when I was selling my Opals, I actually used that white flatbed as a display for the Opals. Have a look here. Not a bad piece of material, that, if you need to use it. I'm not saying keep everything, but I was having a good old chat with my AI, and we're discussing how much stuff actually does get thrown away. So far, we've got a lot of plastic here. Now, if I need plastic, I've got plenty. I just use it. Hello there, Samuel. Okay, so let's have a look and see where we're up to here. The amusing thing is that when you get into it, you very often find out what's actually wrong with it. And I love, like, it's half destroyed, I get in there, I find out what's wrong with it, I fix it, and then continue to destroy it. But, you know, do whatever floats your boat. That's silver. That's gold. We'll do a tally at the end. By the way, I don't necessarily mean to say that I'm 100% correct, because I haven't really done the assay. You can find out formally. I have all the equipment, but it's not really worth it. Not at this late stage. That's just the liquid crystal. There is tantalum, I do believe, in there. Or is it indium? It's one of those things. You can see that there's actually backlights here. So there's a silver there, and that little strip is gold. So it's a small amount. It looks good, but it's a very small amount. Don't worry, there's more in here. Here we go. It'd be embarrassing to cam the screw whilst I'm on a live stream. How embarrassment. Here we go. Now, just so that you know, these screws, only if you're desperate. They're more bolts than screws. Hey, and you normally cutting stones? Yeah, I'm just charging my phone. And I thought whilst we're waiting for the phone to charge, I'll just sit here and dismantle a printer. I've got a bit of a milestone. I'll show it to you later. I've literally gotten enough silver, I think, to make a ring. So that means that I am on the verge of having a stone. I'll select it later, but then forging the silver that I've collected from appliances such as these, forging a ring out of it, then obviously shaping the ring, making a setting, and then putting the stone in it. So from beginning to end, all my effort. That's why I'm doing stuff like this. There we go. Come on. There's people watching. There's an internet watching. Let's see if this will come off now. There's always a little bit of a nuance here somewhere. Alternatively, I could just, give a karate chop. You ready? Karate chop. Oh. So. There we go. So we've got a ribbon cable here. This one isn't particularly vital. Better not be anyway. That piece can go. More plastic. Okay. What do we got here? That's gone. Okay, we've got more ferrite. So ferrite is not particularly valuable, but it is useful. So let me just try and get that out for you. So if you've got an electrical appliance or something and it's making strange, weird noises, you're getting death threats from aliens or something like that, then all you need is a ferrite core and it'll solve that problem. There you go. That's what they look like. They just shield electronics. Not very valuable, just useful. Okay, so let's have a look. So, where do you suppose the next point of entry is? I see. Over here. You can see that, so we've got to get in there somehow. There it is, behind that sheet of glass. And no, I'm not breaking the glass. Not in my own living room. Sorry to disappoint. Let me go and let's see. Never, never, never let me go. Oh, no, 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 no. There's got to be a way in. Gotta be a way, be a way, be a way. Let me go, Beelzebub, put a saint for me. Ah, that's it. Okay, so there's some little. This is an entry point right here. This line here. You just got to get some piece of metal and slide it in. I think there's a guy by the name of Big Clive, if you've ever seen what he does. And he I can't remember what he calls it, a shiffer or something. Maybe on the whole. There we go. Oh, that sounds like a fracture in the making. Here we go. What I try desperately to do when I'm doing these things is to not do the live stream from the casualty ward. I'm not going to guarantee success here. There we go. Now, ordinarily, maybe you'd want to unscrew it, but who cares? Right. Here we go. Right. So this is the part that's very interesting. This is a scanning bed. Oh, come on. I have to go through. There we go. Right. So, you know what we can do now? Now that I've done that, we will now. Haha. We've got an upgrade. So what we'll do is we'll somehow mount this on here, and now we've got ourselves a good upgrade. So we're starting to make our own infrastructure out of our destroyed printer. Here we go. So I'll show you guys. Got over here. Over here we've got some chairs. Just there. So what we'll do is we'll move these chairs over, put this piece of glass here, and then we'll have a better way of viewing the whole thing. Right. I could just do it like that, but that would be boring. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got two chairs. I'll move them to considerable distance behind everything. And what I'll have to do is I'll have to move it over the other way so you can see everything. That's all right. We've got all of the logistics planned. Don't worry. This is definitely not on the fly. I'm totally planning this. Okay. Yoink. We'll move this over to here. By the way, brilliant stuff here. There's a rail here. That's a good piece of steel. Well, where is the... There we go. Good piece of steel there. Now, ordinarily people, scrap it, but I actually use that to scavenge copper and silver from gold solutions. Right, moving on. We'll get this over here and we'll start putting things into various piles. This is just rubbish plastic. This is silver. That's aluminium. or aluminum, depending on what your nationality is. In Ukraine, they ask you, do you eat balanitsa? I think it's what they call it. And that's a way of finding out what your accent's like. Especially with the conflicts going on over there. Very handy little trick. What do they call it? A shibboleth or something. Okay. So moving the chair over. Moving the other chair over. Moving this over to here, this over to here. Right. That's that done, that's that done, that's that done. So, the other thing we've got to do is we've got to keep track of the screws and stuff. The number of times my kids, like, they're very selfish and they keep walking on screws. So, you know, that's punishment in its own right, isn't it? So, here we go. Move this over here. Yoink! That's more like it. Then I'll get the piece of glass that I had before. That sounds like something tipped. Yoink. Stay there for a second. Right. So what we've got here, got the piece of glass here. That'll go there. I'll show you the builds in a minute too. Here we go. Piece of glass here. Will that work? Come on, work, damn you. No worries, you'll hold together. Okay. So here we go. Now we've got a good view of the whole thing. Good view of the whole business. There we go. Now we've got less of a good view of the whole thing. Let's just move this all together. That's about it. Okay. So I'm just rubbing it all so that it doesn't do the same thing again. And also working the problem, trying to figure out if there's a way I can stop that from happening again, just so that you know. Here we go. Yoink. It seemed like a good idea at the time, didn't it? These are hostile pieces of equipment. This one isn't all that hostile, to be honest. Actually, a delight to work with. I was surprised. But yes, wear gloves is a good idea. I'm just going to move some lighting, generalised lighting into here so that we can do stuff. Is this attached to anything? Hopefully it is. Don't carry. Yep, it's attached. Good. Move this to here. Then push the button. There you go. Got a bit of light. Now, what have we got here? Do you remind me? There's always one person, isn't there? I'll move this up a bit. I'll move this down a bit. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Yoink. Right. What else is there that needs to be removed from this section here? Is this going to go willingly? I don't think it will. Let's see. I reckon we move it to the side. That's a risky manoeuvre. It'll get better. Here we go. What's going to happen here? Where is the next point of entry is my question. Next point of entry is probably here. Or maybe to the side. Oh, okay, cool. We've got side paneling. I'll move this around. What we've got to do is somehow get this side paneling off, and it will be obvious. Yeah, you can see the little entry point there. Where's that piece of stuff that I was using before? Ah, got giant stainless steel bar. That will probably do it. Hey, yeah. Yeah, take that, you little varmint. It's a bit too unwieldy, this thing, to be honest. That's all right. Unwieldy is kind of me. I meant that. I'm still prying the thing off. Yoink. Here we go. I think we're done with the screen. The screen was absolute failure. So here we go. Whoop. So what I can do is I can just move this over to here. I'll show you that in a second. Just put this up here so that you can see a little bit, and then we're done. Here we go. And we're not quite done. We're a little bit done. We're sort of done. We're partially done. So, stay. think the glass was better, wasn't it? Okay, here we go. Right. More screws. We're totally screwed. Right. So this is the scanner from the printer. Scanning array. So what I've got here, we've got basically a ribbon cable. This is not very much of it. The scanning array anyway. That's basically holding the thing in place. There is maybe some tape or something there. I don't see any componentry there. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's anything here. I will split that open later to find out. It's carbon fiber, by the way. Right, this is the ribbon cable. This should be higher fidelity than the previous one. Let's have a look. What I can tell you is it is most certainly silver, if not gold. Let me have a quick look. Silver only, I think, or low grade gold. Having a look at the other side. Silver. Right, so this is confirmed silver. Well, as best you can. Silver, yay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get this piece off. Let's see what's going on here. Now, you might have been able to ascertain from what I'm doing here is I might not be reassembling this. There we go. Right, that entire piece comes off. More plastic. Let's have a look at what we've got here. Excellent, we've got a main board, and I will also talk about this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully take this off. This is a moderately powerful light. That's what the scanning array is done with. So let me try and get this off without destroying anything. Hello, Loki. Do you want to come out? I can do that. If you promise to not make an unholy mess, I can let you out, Loki. That'll make life fun. We've got to make sure that Loki doesn't eat anything, because that's bad for birds. In case you're interested, the guts of a printer are bad for birds. You heard it here first. Okay, so here we go. Just try and take this out. You see what's happening is that it's like an ordinary light fitting. And so what I'm doing here is all sorts of assaults to the light fitting, essentially. There we go. And yep, here it is. You can see it actually plugs in via a rubber bung just over here. That's a little silver contact there. Zoom in, show you. Where is it? Just here. Oh, just believe me, it doesn't look like it's a silver contact, but it is. Just there. And you can actually see that there's actually a light element just going the whole way around. That's how your scanner works, sort of. All right, so this is a piece of interest as well. So what we've got here is a... let me get this open. I'll have to push it from the other side, I think. Somehow. I'm just going to get the pair of pliers because I can't be bothered. Normally I'm taking a bit more care, but because we're doing this for live stream purposes, I am going to just... do a few shortcuts. Basically destruction. People love destruction anyway. I need to take my freaking jacket off. All this destruction really works up an appetite. Here we go. Once again, carbon fiber, by the way. Usually that's a piece of carbon fiber, which is good. This is held in not by screws or anything, just by basically hopes and dreams, thoughts and prayers. Zoom in on this thing. Look at all the gold here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to nail this point home by using the microscope. Up we go. Yoink. Now, what have I done to my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful... There we go. Now's the time when you behave yourself. Hang on, just use two hands. What an amazing concept, two hands, huh? Opposable thumbs, who thought of it? Who thought of opposable thumbs? A wicker, who wants a wicker? Alright, here we go. Plug this in. What? Move this over. Right, we're done. Here we go. Now, so we'll find out where this thing actually is. Where's our little sensor? There it is. Move this around a bit more. So we've got a bit. Let's just move that off. Okay, so let's have a look here. Hopefully we'll see something. There you go, look at that. So we've got, obviously we've got the Triforce from Zelda, because that's very important. if you don't have that, Hyrule won't organize itself into a Zelda shaped box. I don't know, I'm making things up. All right, so let's have a look at this. This is where it gets more interesting, I think. More gold. As a matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll just push this whole unit along. You'll see gold, 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 gold. It's a lot of gold. There is a lot of gold here, more than you would expect, because what we're doing here. And I don't know for sure, but the bar here, and I'll try and get focused in on it, that attaches to the light globe that I was showing you before. So if we can really look into it, you can just see in there, you can see some gold bond wires just there. So this thing is being held together by gold bond wires. And now, just because I'm being super nice, I don't like doing this because that is, I'm not sure what the material is, but there's a good chance that it's a platinum group metal. So it could be platinum, it could be tungsten or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm not saying it definitely is, but it could well be. So I don't like opening these things up because you lose your platinum group metals. But this is for demonstration purposes. Let me just push this in front of the... There it is. First things first, we'll just have a look at the contacts here. As you can see, perfectly pristine. No problems with that. What have we got? What materials have we got? We've got silver, or have we got gold? We've got gold, I think. More gold in there, probably. Hard to see, but I think it's gold. Yeah, but it won't be all gold. It will be iron, which is coated in gold. So that's what you got. Now, have a look at here. You can see that there's these little lines, these little grooves. They're covered over. Very sneaky. That's because they, I don't know, they don't want you to see all the gold that's in their printer, or else you would stop printing things and just take them apart and take the gold, I suppose. So what I'm doing is I'm snapping the board. In order to snap the board, I need to take off that little whatever doovie it is. So hard to do with just one hand. Just give me credit and a distinction. All right, just showing you the little bars. And what I'll do is I'll pop this down here like so, whilst I get both hands and attack the editors. Here we go. And snappity-doo-dah. This might end up in my hand. Yeah, there we go. Right, now this one's behaving itself. Well, there goes my phone again. Hello. So this is behaving itself a bit more. This is what I expect to see when I'm snapping open a board. I'm going to sit down here on this handy dandy chair, which I've just put here for no apparent reason. There we go. So got this board here, and you can see what you can do is you can actually just peel. So I'll just grab this, grab and peel. Hopefully that'll work. It didn't work, but I'll show you anyway what we've got here. So you've got that thing there. Hopefully, doing it one-handed is very difficult, just so that you know. So grabbing that, and you can usually pull the tracing off. That's what they call it, traces. Now that looks like copper traces to me, but it could be gold once again. And I'll show you something else that they do. This is like wanton extravagance, in my opinion. Have a look at that. They write all of the stuff on in genuine gold. You can scrape that off with acid. No trouble. So what is it? Anyway, so we've got surface mounted capacitors, SMCs, I think they call them. Got another Triforce, because, you know, if it's not approved by Zelda, it's not a real printer. That's my idea. Just gold. Now these surface mounted capacitors, they're usually silver, although the earlier you go, the more precious metal in them. The later you go, the more composite materials you get. But it's not completely bereft of composite materials if it's later. I've researched that, and I found out that the reason why people don't get a lot of material out of a modern electrical appliance is not because they don't make it with a lot of gold and silver. It's because they bind it with a lot of tin, and the tin is actually poisonous to gold when you're trying to extract it. That's your problem. So let's have a look what we've got here. This phone's nearly charged up, so I'll be very close to doing the whole opal thing soon. We'll move these out of the way. Yay, we've got, what have we got? We've got this guy here. We've got the carriage here. These are very useful. I've used these to hold lasers and all sorts of things. But what I'm doing is I'm getting increasingly desperate, so we're going to do more destruction, basically. You can actually get these things dismantled properly, but it's not quite as fun. I can see another gold component here. Don't take that. Thank you very much. Come on, get out. Is there another thing holding it? No, it's just being stubborn. There we go. And those are sensors. Probably whether there's ink in the thing, or, you know, whether the executives are making enough money, something like that. Okay, so, yeah, put that there. There we go. Undoing all of those cables. You can see there's a bit of logic to it. A lot of the time these things are beautifully built. The earlier you go, the more beautifully built it is. Whoop. Unless you've got me dismantling it, in which case, well, good luck. Come on. I'm starting to understand what those pimple channels are doing when they're like, you know, you see them squeeze pus out of somebody and then you see the hand go and then you don't know what they've done. I understand that now. Because I just did it then. Not that there's all that much pus on this board. There probably is a little bit. I mean, who knows the hygiene standards of the people who are manufacturing it. Okay, here we go. Now, a bit more. Let's have a look and see if this is another gold board, because what are the chances of getting more gold in, like, because if you get more than 2 gold plated circuit boards, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Want an extravagance is what I would say. Want an extravagance. There we go, ribbon cables off. Is that actually mounted somehow? Probably. You can dismount. Oh, Romanian judge giving me a 7.5 for the dismount. Okay, here we go. Yoink. Right, so what have we got here? Okay, let's zoom in on here. These contacts here, silver. Silver, probably not tin. These are power related, so they're silver. This green thing, that's got a silver wire going through it. This green thing, silver wire. Silver wire, that thing's got a silver wire too. That's gold. Let's have a look. These chips, man, you have no idea what's in them. There will be gold, there will be silver, there will be copper, there will be platinum group metals. Now remember, platinum group metals are worth an awful lot more than gold. So, and that's saying something, because gold is worth, what is it? About $100 a gram. And a gram is 1/27th of an ounce. So what? That's like $3,000 an ounce, something like that. Sounds about right. So, you know, this is big stuff. Now, in order to demonstrate where a lot of this gold actually is, this is aluminium, 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 probably aluminium, all of that. If you see any of the thicker set ones, they're copper. Okay, we've got solder here, and that is 95% tin, and that is the bane of everyone's life. And this is the reason why the board died. Have a look at that. You can see it. So the solder mask didn't perform adequately, and I do believe this area overheated. Can we see any evidence of fried circuit board here? I told you we'd find the reason it died. I think there's supposed to be a chip there. I could be wrong. But I think there's supposed to be more than just that there. So maybe, you know, it's like the Dumb and Dumber show, like its head fell off. So let me have a look. Yeah, so there's silver all over it. And let's have a look at the traces. Yep, the traces are gold. More gold traces. Yep. Great. Gold board. There you go. Lovely. Now, can this come out now? It certainly can. Come on, out you get. Don't be scared. I'm only going to dismantle you and like melt you down. What's the harm in all that? What is holding it back? Ah, there's a screw. There we go. Now try it. Easy. Right, let's have a look. Right, they can go. Whee! Right. Now, here we go, here we go, here we go. Printer, here we go, here we go. Oh, oh, oh. Here we go. And you know what? I'm sick of this. Where's my pliers? That is just, like, I'm never using it. I'm not going to be using this printer, so why am I even bothering preserving it? Because I like doing it. These things are, you know, there's, the entire design is so that you cannot repair the thing. And so that's why I like to get into it with as minimum interference as possible as he destroys it. So we go, get this ribbon out. There's another of those ferrite cores that I was talking about. That just stops the electrical interference from interfering electrically. I know technical. What I'm doing is I'm looking at these things. These are more likely to be tin, but they might not be. They might be silver. That one looks silver. The rest of them look like tin. I could be wrong. That might even be gold, that one. Not that it matters that much, because the amount of gold in them is very, very small. Here we go. Yoink. Come on. I already did that thing. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, here we go. You get, you get. All the way. Jolly good. Over the top we go, chaps. Yeah, very good. Okay. So what we've got here is we've got our next layer of defense. We've got a whole heap of these little press studs, and I hate them with a passion. What you can do, however, is just grab a piece of metal and just yoink out this thing. Thank you. Now this is actually a sensor. Very delicate piece of equipment, really. Oops. Okay, you can see there's like a pattern there. It just tells you how far along the... Oh, look at that, a silver. Woohoo! Glad I got that. There we go. Now, this is the rail. Now, there's always some stupid mechanic device that locks it down so you can't get it neatly. Normally, you have it like 50% dismantled. And by dismantled, I mean completely destroyed. Normally, it's 50% dismantled before you figure out what bit unlocks the thing. So, let's have a look. I think it's this thing here. Get rid of that. Don't need that. Okay, does that move yet? No, we've got another thing to look at. Let's just move it up. I'm fine. Aha! Ew. I've just got a black thumb. Look. That's not a triangle head, is it? Doesn't matter if it is, because I've got it. There we go. And then this will be fraught. Let's see if we can do it. No. Have to move it back down or hold it somehow. Here we go. Hold it like that. You get a bird's eye view. Good on you. Yoink. Quite a intricate job holding a camera and dismantling a thing. Check this out. This piece of stuff here. You've got to pull this out of the way. Oh, I can pull it out of the way easily because I've got that. Note that I'm doing it left-handed. It's quite sinister, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Yoink, 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 yoink. There we go. Out we get, out we get. Give it another 5 minutes and then we'll go out and we'll do it. Opals. I get the impression that people who like opals don't necessarily like destroying printers. Who'd have thought it? Okay, here we go. Yoink. There we are. Yoink. Come on, not yet. Thank you. What else is there? At what point am I going to just start hitting it with something rather heavy? Who knows? There we go. Yoink. That is a container of pure evil. depending on what you want to call it. Oh, there's your problem. You see, we've got a giant ink leak. We've got an ink leakage right here, you see. Now, this is where the ink leaks from. Now, if you don't have this leaking properly into the floor, it's not going to be functioning properly as a printer. That's what I'd say. So, we'll get that fixed up. Lickety-split. There we go. Okay, now that's gone. That's going to fix it all up. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's probably leaking all over the floor as we speak. Brilliantly. Now, okay. Right, there's an electrical motor there. Beautiful. And there is a plug. Yoink. Pull the plug out. Beep, beep, beep. Sad, I know. All right, we've got that. We've got that. We've got that. We've got that. What is the next challenge here? What is the next bit that I've got to dismantle? You know what? Whenever I'm building something, the instruction manual never tells me to mantle anything. I'm always dismantling. Hang on. We got... Yep, there we go. Did it work? No. It's just a little bit delicate here. I'll cam the thread in a minute. That's okay. Yep, good. There we go. Okay, we can take that out. Yoink. With a bit of gentle persuasion. What you need to do to make sure that it comes out nice and clean and without damage, you pull it by the wires. I hear that's the right way to do it. Okay, what do we do next? Yoink, yoink, yoink. Pull that, pull that, pull that. And there we are. I can see another piece. That's a tough one to get into. Look at that. Naughty. How do you get in there? Ah, you take this off first. Here we go. Come on. Didn't you know you're magnetic? You're supposed to be, you know, you got an unpaired electron in the d orbital. Didn't you know that? Okay. If you're ever wondering what magnetism is, just learn that. An unpaired electron in the d orbital. What's the d orbital? No idea. And no, it's not a pickup line. Hey babe, let me show you my d orbital. Okay, so there's screws in there. After I talk about pickup lines, which I had to say that, didn't I? I mean, I did have to, because that's kind of what we're doing. Not picking up, clearly not. So, what are you doing? I like making an unholy mess of my living room. That really brings the ladies. Okay, here we go. Put that out. With the utmost delicacy and care, as you can see. Never let it be said that I'm not gentle with it. You must treat your printer like a woman. Okay, here we go. Now, I love you to the end of the earth. Now let me screw you. There we go. Okay. No, that never happened before. Okay. Yes, I do know what I am doing. It will go in eventually. Okay. What do you mean wrong hole? There we go. That is very much like a Latin lover, isn't it? It promises the world does a lot of damage. Okay, here we go. Dear. Oh, well, I'm amusing myself, okay, guys? So, I'm sick of this. Here we go. Oh, yes, it's supposed to do that. Yoink. This is just a shortcut because basically the frame is basically plastic. There's a bit of metal there that's holding everything together, and I'm nearly done with all of it. So there we go. As you can see, nearly all apart. Yoink. Put that there for a second. You can enjoy the wonderful view of me destroying this thing. Theoretically, you should make dinner first. Here we go. This is where all the mess happens. This is where all the tubes are from the print ink. Now that they've removed the tubes, it's perfectly safe. There's definitely no mess now. That's not the truth. Okay, let's remove these inks. Show you this. If I can remove the ink trays. There we go. Oh yeah, just push these buttons and away they go. Try that again. So it's not a fluke. Come on, get out. Like you're half dismembered. Why are you staying in? That goes out. That goes out. Yoink. Good bit of destruction to finish the... We're going to call it a teardown. It's more a sledgehammer down though, you know. A bit of a hoe down. Oh. Right, there we go. Now, let's have a look and see. Oh, I'm joking. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So there's a little bit of gold there. So each of those printed cuts just have a little bit of gold sitting there. That's good. Well worth doing, getting them out. Okay. What else have we got? We've got this thing. That's a silver. If I don't find gold in this bit, I'll be sorely disappointed because there's usually huge amounts of gold in these things. Especially considering the vintage of the printer, I'd be like, you've got gold everywhere else, why aren't you putting gold into the printer heads? Here we go. Now there's some more things here. Let's go into here. Go into here. There we go. Anything else to see? Don't think so. So where's the gold? Interesting. I found the most cheap ass printer ever to demonstrate. Lucky me. There must be something. Here we go. Okay, so that's even the circuit here is a silver one. That's not very fun. Now normally they're gold. And there's the method I was referring to earlier. I think I've just avoided a problem, maybe. It's not like I've got a good Calvin Klein trench coat on or anything. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly deal with that because that's perilously close to a carpet. And, you know, having had 2 children and all sorts of things going on in this house, the carpets are always pristine. The way I manage my life is essentially, look at all that. I haven't hurt myself, I've just put ink on me. Right. I think that ends the demonstration because, well, that was fun. We'll go and do some opals now. I'll just take this jacket off lest it get dirty. Right. Off the charge we go. A moderate mess. Look at that. Zing. I'm still the same me. Let's go. What have we here? We have Max. Hello, Max. Boing. I might have to. Oh, Max, have you been? You have been too. Max is like 5 minutes from learning how to get out of the cage. You want to scratch? Yeah. There you go. There you go. What are you up to? Are you kidding me? It just take 56 minutes to dismantle that thing. That's nuts. There you go, buddy. Right. A lot of people talk. And the last comment was you should wear gloves, and he's probably right. Or they are probably quite right. The Star. It sounds like a newspaper. Max doesn't know what to make of this. Going to get bitten any second. Right. Here we go. Yoink. Turneth on the light. What? There seems to be something between us. There we go. Now, action shot. End of action shot. I hope you enjoyed the action. This look is what you call WTF. They are right to ask that question. Here we go. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, that's just printer ink. More valuable than gold, and now it's on my hands. Might be all over Loki soon, depending on how it dries. Oh yeah, you're loving that, aren't you? Yeah, loving these, loving these. Hello. Yeah, I know, you enjoyed it too, didn't you? Do you want to have a scratch over here? Think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing. I just love it when he realises. Here we go. Scratchy poo. Do you want to scratch it, don't you? You want to get out, do you? Can I take you out after the session? Oh, okay, fine. He's like, I gave him an out. I gave him an out. Because like he knows I close the door if he bites at me. Okay. We'll be back, okay? At the end of the opal cutting, we'll see how you're all doing. We'll let you go out and have a fly. Don't eat the printer parts. Okay. I'm sure they understand perfectly. It'll all be good. You know, a good idea would be to use the jumper that I used last time, because that's going to get wet anyway. I'll just go out of shot so that I don't discuss the whole world. Well, it depends. Like, maybe I'll just intimidate everybody. Right. Grab that. Yoink. You're not missing out on much. What I can do, I'll demonstrate it one day. I'll put Loki on my shoulder and I'll take the jumper off. Because I can do that. Loki is very accommodating. Okay. Yoink. Beautiful. Look at me. I am sporting a wonderful jumper. It is straight from Milan, probably. Well, there was probably Milan involved somewhere. Maybe they looked at it on the internet at one stage and go, what a terrible jumper. Okay, just put the jacket on. This thing has been through the war. It's almost like a signature jacket. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm going, do I really want to be remembered by this thing? Hello, Pony. Agent? No, not yet. Okay. See, very, very, very obedient bird. She is. Right. Out we go. Yoink. And I was going to have a, advanced NASA engineering style setup for this, but I can't be bothered. I've been working all day. Did you know that when you work a lot, you get a lot of work done? So down we go. Yoink. And I will put you here. Right. There's opals down there. I noticed they were there. I would like them to be elsewhere, i.e. where I am. Now, that sodium carbonate probably is not the right thing for it. Okay, what have we got here? What I'll do is I'll use some of these big opals. So you've got this guy, big. This guy, big. This guy, big. If you're new to the channel, this is what we do. We go and have a look at opals and we go, are they big or not? Cutting them? No, definitely not. Okay, big. Not as big. Positively minuscule. Okay, so we got a cubipedia there. Yes, we also do the origin of the opals. Let's do less farting around and more getting to the opals, hey? One last little thing. I'm just going to wet some of these, just see what they're looking like. No. Now I've got a quite a basic opal solution because of the sodium carbonate. Caution, these opals are corrosive. Whee. Now, I'll just be moving this here piece of glass over to a safer locale so that I can just go and fill this up with water. We'll go tip it on this weed because I don't think that weeds like to have a highly basic solution tipped all over them. That's what all my years in agriculture have taught me. I'll do it again because we've got an awful lot of water in there and I don't want to spill it. Basically. Right, there we go. We've got a bit of baffling here. I'm baffled as to what we're going to do with it. All right, we're done. There we go. Right, now, as well as assessing the size of the opals, we also say whether they're wet or dry. This one is a wet one. This one is a big wet one. This one is a moderately big wet one. All right, I'm done with that joke. Nice tingle. Right. So, here we go. There we are. Another opal. That one looks promising, actually, to be honest. That looks really good. Just like me. Right, now, I'll keep a few of these on hand, ready to go. And oh yeah, this one's from the Cubipedia kid. It doesn't look like there's anything in it, but I can guarantee you there is. So I'll keep this one over here. Turn this on, make an unholy racket. Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen. Right, now, here we go. We'll use this one as our test stunt opal. Zooming right in, we'll have a look at this guy and see if it's worth the paper it's printed on. And we're going to ignore the fact that it's not at all printed on paper. I think the situation calls for more power. More power. I'll find it in a minute, okay? I'm looking at the live stream now. Hang on a second, fatherly duties await. Sorry about that, guys. That's not good. What's happening? That's epically annoying. Just got to stop that noise from happening because it's annoying me. So what happened was this was making an unholy racket. I reckon it's because there's an opal behind here. That's usually the reasoning. I should put these in place because that will solve a lot of problems. And I will also get some more of these things and put them over into the side here, and that will solve that problem. Right. That's a problem solved, aren't I? Problem solver, I am. I'll zoom back so you can at least see what I'm doing. I'm just putting some baffling on that side. This setup is still relatively new and I'm just trying desperately to get it to work properly, and to be holding down a job and doing live streams and also modifying. It's a little bit, you know, a bit tough. Here we go. Yoink. Yoink again. Yoink again. Yoink again. There we go. That should do it. And down in you go. The whole idea is to make sure that there is no contact between the glass and the thingamy-bob. Yeah, it's all very technical, I know. So we just go pop this over here. Move this over here, like so. Come on, out you go. And then we just kind of get it to go there. Hopefully that'll do. If there's no vibration, all happy. Only 1,000 levels. What's there to worry about? Trying to find out where it is. Right, it's there. If I put this here, what happens? Engineering on the go. That's not the, oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Why is it not as high? There we go. This is not working as it was. Alright. This is going to be our bugbear for today. I'm going to have to secure that because it was working all well. I don't know why it's not working now. Something has fundamentally changed. The fundamental note for a start. So if I need to have it working, what do I need to do? I need to go like so. Oh, okay, I see. Part of it is to do with this. Move that over to here. That's part of it solved. The next thing is to have that going forward and staying forward. And then what we need to do is we need to make sure that this is going up. I don't know why it was, maybe if we put it over the top. That's not a bad idea. If we put it over the top, then it's got no choice but to do that. Yes, excellent. Excellent. Wonder how long that'll last for. I don't think it'll last long at all. Let's see. Here we go. Now let's get cutting down over it. now looking for a sign of life in this opal. Maybe see one? Any second now. If not, we move on to another opal. Presuming one has survived the carnage of the last few minutes. That is a big presumption. The algorithm's going, oh, he's cutting opals now. He's not messing around with that printer now.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, what you're viewing the opal with now is the best seed in the house. I'm literally using it to cut the opal. It's that good. Nothing but the best for you, my dear viewers. Hopefully we've got enough cut away so we can see stuff. Sorry about that. Now, going to try this one here to see if it's good. If not, we move on. John. How you doing? For those of you who have just arrived, John, what we're doing is cutting open. Finding out if this particular opal has got any colour in it. If it's got colour in it, we will all dance and be happy and rejoice. Just so that you know, any discoloration on my hands, or basically just pigment in general really, can be easily attributed to the printer carnage that occurred in the first session of this live stream. That was, you have to go considerable distance in the opal before you find out if it's any good or not. But don't worry, we shall find out soon enough. Over the top, jolly good, tally ho, all that. Celine Dion impersonation again. I'll just get this opal sorted and then I'll sort out the camera angles. It seems to be a little bit fuzzy. Once again, it's threatening to actually be colourful, which is annoying because I'd like to know, I'd like to be, yeah, it's definitely going to be colourful, no, it's definitely not moving on with our lives. But no, you like us to do, right? It's up in the air, so you don't know what to do. Not that I'm referring to anything else, of course, not that I'm frustrated or anything. I hope that is to your liking, sir. Oh, it definitely is, Jeeves. Thank you very much. So very soon we're going to find out if it's all been worth it. Whether I sit there and say stupid platitudes like, oh, Opal is the winner house, or was it all worth it? Basically, if Opal's the winner, I'm not. Trying to make sure that the surface of this opal is completely uniform and stuff. I'm seeing a hint of green. Possibly, I mean, I like having colour on my opals, don't get me wrong, but if you get this kind of weak colour signal that may or may not go, it's quite frustrating. I'd like to have it one way or the other. About this particular opal is it's one that you facet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick facet. Basically, win, lose or draw, it's going to be a nice stone shape at least. In all seriousness, if you're just getting into opal, it's not a bad idea to just grab a piece of stone. No matter how you think it's going to turn out, if it's not going to turn out well, continue to carve the cat, because nice practice. If there's no colour here, there's no need to panic. Might be some when the sun comes up. What I will do is I'll just carve this a little bit further, but it's still haunting me with colour. A bit annoying. I'm very Anakin Skywalker, aren't I? I'm haunted by the colour. I don't like sand. It's horrible that much it gets into me. Because that's what I would be telling an attractive woman. Did you know sand gets into things? What's a fascinating anecdote about man? Back in the 80s, there was an ad for Kraft peanut butter, which is very much like that. quite frustrating, to be honest. One way or another. Right. That may well be one that will work in the sunlight, so I'm scared to actually cut it off. But look, is what screen you win the car. That's me, not anybody else. Right. Way to cut this one with correct etiquette. Always eat chicken with your fingers, that kind of thing. I found the seam. Alright. I might have to go from the other side. Bonjour, Suleiman. How you doing, my friend? should have made that call a lot earlier, but that's okay. We'll work around that. The beats don't go. You can get away with this. Got the jar in my hand in case this one doesn't work out. I'm going to quickly do the old switcheroo. Another time perhaps. Let's try one next time. It won't take long anyway. Someone throw up another light, so thank you. comes. Where are you? This one? Is there any colour on it? So? I'm just going to keep going until I find something. This one's got some on it. No, they've got colour, it's just sometimes they don't express themselves enough. They need to get emotionally in touch with their feelings, etc., etc., etc. Another of the directional ones. I'll just fasten it a little bit, just make sure that I know what I'm doing. Once again, this might be determined by sunlight rather than anything else, so I'm going to have to put it aside and wait for the sun to come out and have a look at it. Yay. Right, not labelling that one. There's a little bit of colour, but we've got to wait for the sunshine. This one, come on. You can do it. Finally. You can just see it on the edge there. Quickly. What's this one? G'day. I'll be finishing soon. Actually, the open will be finishing me. There we go. Oh, I like. Yay! That must be my good buddy, the Opal guy. Like and subscribe to his channel. chew and chew, chew, chew. Right here. Work down here. There we go. Go and say hello to the birdies. Bing. Done. Once I'm done, I make all the silly noises. Yay! Yeah. Hello. One moment, please, as I go and remove the jacket. Okay? Yeah, off you go. There we go. Now, pop that there. Yoink. Okay. What was that? I'll look and tell you. Plastic bead. Probably this destroyed printer. That printer looks disgusting. Okay. Hey, Max.
you think I surprised him? I think I surprised him. None of that. Okay. Would you like to get out? Would you like to? I think that's just something that's subtly do everywhere. Yeah. Good. Here we go. Here we go. Right, so let me do the introductions for you. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Max the Cockatoo. Da, 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 da. Have you got anything to say, Max? No. There it is, hello. And over on my knee, currently taking a shit, it's Loki! Da, 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 da. That's a weird noise. Okay, so, do you have anything to say, Loki? 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 Have you got anything to say? You got anything to say? It's moments like these you think, yeah, life's a little bit perfect. All right, there's plenty wrong with my life, don't worry. YouTubers only, promote the best parts of their lives, the bits that are doing well. Max, what are you doing? What? Hello. Come on. Come on. Well, you can come down here. Why don't you come down here? Do you want me to move this over here for you? Here we go. Here we go. It'll only take 7 to 8 working years to get this out. There we go. Right, now what we've got is we've got a branch transportation device that will transportation you from the top of the cage region over to the bottom of the branch region. Hello. 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 Are you going to do a shit on live television? Hello. Can you see that? No. Come, get over here. Easier here. There we go. Good, good, good there. Can you see that now? No. All right. I've got a bird on my back and one that's looking to eat my fingers. That's the way life goes sometimes. That's the way life goes. Ooh, that's the way life goes sometimes. That's the way life goes. Ooh. You just take a dump. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Right. I'll move this back a bit. You'll probably see it makes a bit better. There you go. That's Max. Now, Max does not have a screw in his eye or his neck. He's not Frank and Max. Sketchy bit? Ah! Just shoot yourself. As you can see, I'm a perfect owner. Hello! We're all tired, we'll all go to bed soon, but we've got a few little formalities to get out of the way. You're doing to be magic. I could have scratched that for you. I could have. Right. Okay, so welcome to my channel. In this channel, you will get to see 2 bird asses. Maybe a third. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. It's a giant pigeon. Ah! Did anyone see a giant pigeon? Anyone? Anyone? No? Last seen around this area saying like and subscribe. Did anyone see it? Aha! Yoink! Boing! Ha ha! Did you poke me in the eye? There you are. So that's the whole cavalcade here. Pigeons never move, stop moving really. I feel like we should be doing a magic trick. Something like this. Hey, come on. Wait. It's like, you know. So, nothing in my hand and ta-da! Isn't that right? Nothing up my sleeves except this giant pigeon-shaped bulge. Right. I think that's all for today. I enjoyed myself. I'm exhausted. I've been driving everyone everywhere and driving myself nuts in the process. So I've got to get things done and things need to get done. And did I mention things need to get done? Yes. Pigeons had enough of that. All right. Okay. What I would like to do is insist that you have a lovely day. Max would like to insist you have a lovely day as well. Max, he's the sane one. Like and subscribe, as the pigeon has said. No. And my advice to you is to make sure that you stay away from a giant, disgusting bird's ass. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Dr. Phil out.